Yo, Charlie, what's up, dude? What's up, bro? How's it going? Yo, have you seen this new JHS pedal yet? They've had them for years, I think. No, it's a Sweetwater edition, really. It's the one with the black, the at symbol on it, right? Sounds ridiculous. I never heard it. No, I can't believe you haven't heard it yet. No, not yet. Do you want to hear me do a demo of it? Yeah, definitely. All right, check this out. Awesome. What's up, guys? It's Charlie Bozza. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing well. If you're new here, this is a place where we demo and review all kinds of guitar-related equipment and gear. So if you have any special requests, make sure to throw them down in the comments section below, and I'll be sure to get to them in upcoming videos. Speaking of upcoming videos, if you hit that bell notification below, you'll be notified of all upcoming content. The AT Plus is the second round of collaboration between Andy Timmons and JHS pedals. So there's some key bullet points that I'd love to point out about this pedal. The first is that it's a British driven amp in a box. Secondly, the three-way knob varies gain and response, so you can sit between 25, 100, and 50 watts of an amp. The three-way headroom switch is one of the biggest differences between the initial Angry Charlie pedal and this new version 2 pedal. The way that JHS describes this feature is it's a way to get 25, 50, or 100 watt tube amp performance into this one little pedal. The 100 watt mode has the most headroom and clarity. The 50 watt mode gives you a bit of compression, and that's going to simulate cranked amp's power section. And the 25 watt mode is the most compressed and overdriven. A note on this is that a lot of players love the 25 watt mode, especially when they're using a low wattage boutique style amp. Third, the air control tunes the high-end frequencies and acts as if an amp is actually pushing out air through this pedal. Fourth, the boost circuit pushes the drive circuit and gives you an onboard lead boost. So essentially what that means is you can just use the boost option. So if you're playing with a clean amp and you don't want too much gain, just dial in that boost option and it'll bring a little bit of dirt into your signal. So the way I understand it is that when Andy Timmons was touring, he was getting a lot of different backline amps, and his tone wasn't always consistent. So he was looking to build a pedal that had that overdriven British tone that he personally liked, and that he can keep his rig or his road rig consistent and his tone consistent. So with that in mind, he started using the initial Angry Charlie from JHS pedals, and that was sort of the first foray into the journey of him working with JHS and utilizing their pedals to really sculpt his main tone. Story time. I initially bought this pedal around Black Friday of 2019. When I got the pedal in, the second I plugged it in and started utilizing that air control knob, it immediately hit me. I'm like, this thing is great. I can get a ton of use out of it. And right away, it made its way onto my own personal pedal board. So for these past couple months, I've been making these demo videos on all these different pedals and guitars and amps and whatnot. And meanwhile, the AT Plus is sitting quietly on my pedal board when it really should have been one of the first things that I demoed for you guys. The problem was that it was so versatile and so useful that I couldn't pull it away from my initial pedal board. So the first thing I started doing was trying to be Andy Timmons, which doesn't work out because I'm not Andy Timmons and no one should be Andy Timmons because he's ridiculous. So let's get that out of the way right now. Secondly, this air control knob is unlike anything I've used on other pedals. There's other examples of it from other companies and other pedals, so I'm not saying it's 100% unique. So for me, this was like my first foray into that kind of option in a pedal form. I really felt as if I was playing through like a 100-watt amp, where you get that, you know, that air under the strings, and you kind of, it's more of a feeling than a sound, so it's really kind of tough to explain. But that was the first thing I noticed. Was I plugged this in, and in a bedroom setting, I felt like I was in a stadium somewhere, so that was pretty cool. So let's go through a couple different sound examples with nothing but the guitar, with no backing track. For all this, I'm going to be running through my Rev D20. Right now I'm set pretty clean. And I'll be using my PRS CE24. The reason I like this guitar for these kind of examples is because I could utilize the humbuckers, or I could do a push-pull transition to give you guys a single coil type of sound. So right now this is what a single coil would sound like. This is just a clean sample. So right now I have the drive up around 9 o'clock. The EQ is around 65 to 70%, and the air is set around 3 o'clock, which is around 80%. Just something like this. Decent edge of breakup sound. Now we're going to be running around halfway with the drive. It's a really saturated tone, but it's very, very useful. So right there is enough drive, probably for most songs, and that's only halfway. So to give you guys a pretty good sense of what the boost knob is doing, it literally is an onboard boost control. So aside from the benefit of maximizing your pedal board itself, it actually works really well with the other EQ settings that you have dialed in on the pedal. So you don't have that weird effect where you have two different kind of overdrives sort of acting against each other. So this is a nice way to get one versatile tone, just picking up your signal a little bit when you want to take a lead. So this next sound example is how I'm going to be utilizing this pedal the most. This pedal is going to be sitting on my hard rock pedal board, and I'm going to be playing a lot of humbucker style guitars that are tuned down. So for this next example, I used my PRS CE24 tuned down to drop D. Check it out. So that's it for this week's video. I hope you guys liked it. If you want to get in touch with me on social media, you can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, be well.